Hello and welcome to an Introduction to Artistic Creation, Part 2. My name is Anya Hogan-Finley, and I'm a Program Officer in the Explore and Create program at the Canada Council for the Arts. We're looking forward to giving you a clear understanding of this funding opportunity. Let's get started. In the first video, we reviewed an introduction to the artistic creation funding opportunity. Who can apply to artistic creation? What activities are eligible and ineligible in artistic creation, and how much you can request and how many times you can apply. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at eligible expenses, the assessment process, and the assessment criteria for artistic creation. First, let's review what artistic creation is. Artistic creation supports artistic research and experimentation, creation, production, and public sharing of artistic work. You can apply for a project grant to develop, create, and share artistic work at any or all stages of the creative process. Projects must primarily aim to support the creation of artistic work. Projects that involve public sharing of work must also involve at least one or more of the activities found in the eligible activities list, as all projects must involve creation activities. What expenses are eligible in artistic creation? Eligible expenses include direct expenses related to the activities. For example, equipment rental costs, administration, marketing materials, creative material and supplies, and software. Fees and payments to artists, participants, and collaborators are eligible. This includes payment to yourself or subsistence. Public accessibility, which includes sign language interpretation, accessibility audits, audio description, personal support workers, captioning, ramp rental, access coordinators, etc. Travel related to the project. Costs related to gifts or payments to Indigenous elders and/or traditional knowledge keepers, ceremonies, etc. Child or dependent care costs are eligible if they are required to complete the activity. Equipment purchases required specifically for the activity are eligible. This excludes equipment related to a building. You can claim up to a maximum of $2,000 per item purchased for total combined costs of up to 15% of the grant requested. Thanks for following along so far. We're happy to help you better understand the assessment process and criteria for this funding opportunity. You can find more information on the portal, and you can always connect with a program officer if you have questions. Let's continue. Next, we'll cover the assessment process. Applications submitted to artistic creation are assessed by peer assessment committees. Peer assessment committees represent different artistic and cultural practices and perspectives, career levels, demographics, and regional awareness. Program officers compose committees with appropriate knowledge and expertise based on the applications received, with final approval by the director of the program. Committee members read and score applications based on published weighted assessment criteria and work together to rank funding applications. Now we'll review the assessment criteria. The first criteria is artistic. This is 50% of your total score. This measures the artistic quality of your work and the potential artistic outcomes of your proposed project. This is scored out of 20 points. The artistic and/or cultural rationale for your project. This is scored out of 20 points. The relevance and timeliness of your project within your area of practice and/or community. This is scored out of 10 points. The peer assessors want to know what's driving this project beyond personal interest. So ask yourself, what do I want to explore? Why now? Why am I the best person to tell this story or create this work? Your project description and support materials should show relevance and artistic quality. These elements help assessors see the potential outcome of your work. Support material plays a big role in the assessment. Submit high-quality examples that align with your project. The next criteria is impact, which is worth 30% of the total score. Here you will explain how the project advances your artistic practice and career. This is scored out of 15 points. Ask yourself, how am I pushing or deepening my practice with this project? The second sub-criteria considers the potential of the project to benefit artists, participants, audiences, and communities. This is scored out of 15 points. Think about the bigger picture. How does my project fit within the wider context of my art form or communities of artists? What opportunities or impacts could this project lead to in the future? If your project includes an element of presentation, you should show how you can build public interest in your work. Make the reach and accessibility of your project clear and compelling. Ask yourself, what audiences or communities will I reach? How will I connect with them? Strong applications clearly explain both the artistic development for the artist, group, or organization, and the project's potential impact on audiences and communities. The third criteria is feasibility, which is 20% of the total score. Feasibility considers your capacity and experience to undertake the project, including a realistic timeline. This is scored out of 10 points. A detailed budget that demonstrates fair payment of participants and efficient use of resources. This is scored out of 10 points. Applications that stand out are often the ones where the applicant convincingly demonstrates their capacity to undertake the project, including a realistic work plan providing key steps. Provide a detailed budget. Make sure to include budget notes to break down or explain expenses and revenues. Make sure the budget is balanced. The total revenues, which includes the amount requested, must equal the total expenses. Respectful and ethical cultural artistic practices, or RECAP, is a non-weighted determination. This means there's no numeric score assigned to this criteria. Candidates must determine whether there is Indigenous content and/or collaboration, and can skip the question if it does not apply to their project. Peers will be asked to determine if proper attention is paid to First Nations, Inuit, or Métis cultural protocols, and cultural materials are treated in a respectful way. This will be scored as satisfied or did not satisfy. In part 3 of our introduction videos, we'll review the application process. If you have any questions, you can use the Help feature to communicate with program staff at the Canada Council. The fastest and easiest way to connect with the Council and ask questions in the portal is to log a case. To do so, use the Help feature on the homepage or in the navigation bar to log a case. Program staff will receive your questions and send a response to the email address you've provided. Whether or not you have an account, assistance will be provided. Keep in mind that no matter where you are in your journey, if you have a question about an application, a funding opportunity, or need help using the portal, you can always connect with us. Thanks for joining us today.